An anime begins in a strange world where a mysterious illness has started spreading among young children, an illness that slowly pulls them toward the internet. It keeps them online for most of the day until they completely stop going outside, remaining constantly glued to their electronic devices. Eventually, people give this condition a name: internet addiction. But in order to cure these children and make them capable of living normally again, a special academy is created called the Elite Reduction Academy, a place where children are cut off from the internet and taught how to live again. And after this, we see a boy deeply immersed in gaming, enjoying it so much that as soon as he finishes one game, he's about to start another. Yet suddenly he collapses and loses consciousness. And in his dream, he sees his mother gently telling him that he no longer needs to go to school and can freely keep playing games. But at that moment, his eyes open and we learn his name is Hikibi, and he finds himself in a completely unfamiliar place, confused about where he is and how he got there. Noticing that a few other people are locked inside the same room, discussing how the door seems sealed from the outside. And then Hikibi suddenly shouts loudly, convinced he has entered a game world, because there are exactly 4 people in the room and the door is locked, which feels just like the beginning of many games. So he excitedly approaches another boy and asks if they are soldiers and whether they're about to fight zombies or monsters. But instead, one boy pushes Hikibi away, saying he's the only one who doesn't understand what's going on and should sit quietly instead of making noise. Yet another boy urgently tells them to be silent because he hears footsteps approaching. And in that moment, the gate opens and 4 armed men enter, and before anyone can process it, a woman walks in, terrifying everyone with her presence, as she asks one of the men whether these are the filthy kids they're meant to fix today. Then she coldly informs them that they are now inside the Elite Reduction Academy, introducing herself as the headmaster named Jin, after which we are shown the academy grounds where children look completely exhausted, having been forced to run non-stop since morning. And now that evening has arrived, one boy begs for rest and collapses to the ground, but an instructor appears and brutally beats him, warning the others that the same will happen if they refuse to run, and declaring that whoever finishes last will be forced to run 5 extra laps. While elsewhere we see a boy lying comfortably, enjoying the chaos as he watches which new students have arrived this time. And back among the 4 boys, one of them angrily declares they can't be imprisoned like this because he knows the truth, that this isn't an academy at all but a place where internet-addicted children are tortured. Yet before he can say more, one of the men steps forward and beats him mercilessly, terrifying the others, until Jin calmly tells the man not to hit his face because their parents will be visiting next month. And after the beating, the man introduces himself as the head instructor named Xian, ordering the remaining boys to line up and telling them that in this place they have no rights and must obey every command without refusal. And then we return to the relaxed boy who is reading files about Hikibi, revealing that Hikibi was sent here by his own mother and will remain in the academy until he turns 18, something Xian also tells Hikibi directly, leaving him stunned because he can't believe his mother could do this to him, especially when he still has a full year before turning 18, wondering how he could possibly survive that long here. But then Xian asks him a question, and when Hikibi hesitates to answer, he is beaten. And through this, Hikibi realizes just how horribly students are treated, constantly abused and beaten, as Xian explains their daily routine, waking at 7 a.m. and returning to the hostel at 9 p.m. And as Hikibi listens, he fully understands that they are not treated like humans at all, but worse than animals. And from that moment, his mind fills with only one thought: escaping this place. So he climbs up to the roof, remembering how back home he used to stay locked in his room playing games, even chasing his mother away when she brought him food. And once on the roof, he sees nothing but endless forest surrounding a massive compound, realizing he is trapped in a place no different from a prison. While elsewhere we see older boys who have been there longer and are no longer abused as much because they are considered fixed. And suddenly the instructors bring the 3 boys outside, only to realize Hikibi is missing, causing panic as they start searching for him, while Hikibi watches everything from the rooftop, thinking about jumping and ending his life because he feels he can't endure the pain anymore. And just as he stands there, the same boy from earlier approaches him from behind and quietly tells him that he should jump because his death will expose the academy's cruelty to the world, freeing thousands of students and turning Hikibi into a hero. He hears all of this as well, yet in the end he refuses to jump. And then that boy tells Hikibi that if he gives him his life, he will give his life meaning, saying he will turn him into a man. But Hikibi replies honestly that he doesn't want to become a man yet, and then he casually says that he thought the boy was a girl, which instantly enrages him, and he starts beating Hikibi. But Hikibi says a few sharp things in return that only make the boy angrier, causing him to hit Hikibi even more, while at the same time all the instructors are searching everywhere for Hikibi but can't find him. And then the boy introduces himself as Sen and hands Hikibi a pair of binoculars, telling him that he can like as many girls as he wants, and that he will definitely find one here. And hearing this, Hikibi becomes surprisingly happy and is ready to obey everything Sen says. So he starts looking at the girls and suddenly notices one girl he already knows, telling Sen that her name is Sayori and that they both went to the same middle school. And as they walk, Sen tells Hikibi that from today onward, Hikibi's life and body belong to him. And after this, we see that the instructors still can't find Hikibi, which makes Seiun furious because he can't even locate a single new boy. But then Sen arrives there with Hikibi and explains that Hikibi got lost while looking for the bathroom, so he brought him back. And Seiun steps close to Sen and warns him that if he's lying to protect Hikibi, he'll pay a heavy price. But Sen calmly says he knows exactly what happens to people who lie or try to escape. And then Sen announces that this new boy has agreed to become his dog, which brings strange reactions to everyone's faces. And Seiun tells Sen to take good care of Hikibi before leaving, after which Hikibi feels relieved and happy because Sen saved him and he didn't get beaten, also thinking that Sen must be telling the truth about Sayori. And then Sen goes to a boy named Wado and whispers something to him. And after hearing it, Wado approaches a girl and starts pulling off her clothes, making Hikibi ask in shock what he's making her do. But Wado reaches into her clothes and pulls out a phone, and then he and his friends begin tearing the rest of her clothes, claiming she must have more devices hidden, while no one dares to speak, until Sayori steps forward holding a knife, and one of the boys tries to throw a stone at Wado, but Hikibi steps in front and gets hit instead. And after Sayori beats that boy, she asks Wado if he'll let the girl go or if he wants to fight her too, while they all argue that they were just checking because they found a phone. But Sayori says they crossed far beyond anything called checking, and then the instructors arrive and stop everything, and Wado tells them they found a phone on the girl, so everyone leaves. And when Sayori comes near Hikibi, it feels like she recognizes him, yet she says nothing and walks away. And then the scene shifts and we see Seiun in a school meeting where a man complains that he's late because of a single student, clearly referring to Hikibi since Seiun was delayed searching for him. And as the man leaves, he reminds Seiun that he knows what could happen if anything goes wrong at the school. And then we return to Sayori as she carefully wraps bandages around Hikibi, and after finishing she goes to the girl and says they can now talk business, which confuses the girl. So Sayori explains that she won't make an enemy of Wado just to save her, and the girl argues that since Sayori is the student council president, she should help her, begging her to get her phone back because it must still be somewhere here, and without it she won't be able to talk to her boyfriend. But Sayori pushes back and asks how she managed to bring a phone into the academy under such strict surveillance and keep it for so long, leaving the girl confused about what Sayori means. And then Sayori asks if she can bring in another phone, explaining that she needs one too, and if the girl succeeds, she'll teach her how to use a knife, which makes the girl ask if learning to use a knife will stop people from bullying her and let her live without fear. And Sayori coldly replies that the first time someone troubles her, she won't need anyone's help, and not only that, she'll even be able to kill herself with the knife. Hearing this, the girl snaps and asks why she should risk her life to bring a phone just to be taught how to kill herself, throwing Sayori's knife away. But Sayori calmly picks it up and tells her not to expect help next time. And hearing all this, Hikibi asks Sayori when she became like this, because she used to be kind in middle school, but she glares at him angrily, throws her knife at him, and tells him to stay quiet. And then Sen arrives, showing the girl's phone, and tells Sayori he needs to talk to her. And when the girl sees her phone, she starts walking towards Sen, but Sayori stops her by placing the knife at her neck, demanding a phone for herself too. And Sen then tells both girls that if they want the phone back, they'll have to turn his friend Hikibi into a man, meaning they must be physical with him, which makes Sayori say bitterly that all boys are the same, and she expected a condition like this from Sen. But then the girl goes to Hikibi and speaks sweetly to him, saying she wanted to spend her first night with her boyfriend, and if she does this with him, her dream will be shattered, asking him to just give her phone back without conditions. And Hikibi starts wavering and asks Sen to return the phone, but Sen exposes the truth about the girl, revealing how her boyfriend manipulated her, how she still stayed with him, even stole her parents' money to give him, which is why her parents sent her here. And Sen adds that while he doesn't know how she got the phone, he knows her well enough to believe she probably spent time with an instructor to get it. And hearing this, the girl explodes in anger and attacks Sen, but Sayori steps in and slashes her clothes with the knife, causing the girl to run away while swearing revenge on all three of them. And then Sayori agrees to Sen's condition, after which Sen leaves them alone in the room. But Hikibi starts thinking that all of this is wrong, and that being physical with a girl like this is wrong because there are no emotions between them. So he turns to tell Sayori she doesn't need to do this, only to see that she has already prepared prepared everything and is even closing the curtains, and then Sayori lays Hikibi down on the boxes and climbs on top of him, leaning in to kiss him, but no matter how many times she tries, she can't do it and starts feeling nauseous, so Hikibi stops her and tells her again that she doesn't need to force herself. While outside, Sen is listening to everything, and Sayori grows more and more distressed, still asking Hikibi to come closer because she desperately needs the phone, but Hikibi stands up and tells her there's no need for any of this, urging her to go take the phone from Sen and saying he'll handle Sen himself, and Sayori finally agrees and leaves, telling Hikibi that he's still just as pure-hearted as he was before, and warning him that if anyone at school ever troubles him, she'll kill them, and then tries to tell Sen that he shouldn't treat a girl's body like an object, but in response, Sen grabs Hikibi by the throat and reminds him coldly that he is nothing more than his dog now, ordering him to call him master from today onward, which enrages Hikibi and makes him shout that he will never call him that because he refuses to see Sen as superior to himself. Terrible place with Sayori, while Sen watches him go without saying a word, and Hikibi returns to his dorm, where the moment a new student is seen, everyone starts mocking him with cruel comments, yet Hikibi stays silent, telling himself that he has to escape this place for Sayori's sake, and that he will soon figure out where this academy truly is and how to get out. Then they welcome him, leaving him surprised because he never expected such kindness, and then the man introduces himself as Bin, explaining that he mostly works in the dorm office and that Hikibi can come to him anytime if he needs help. After which, Hikibi, Bin, and the three boys take a photo together as a memory, and Bin says he has work to do and leaves. Yet Hikibi doesn't feel bullied because things could have been much worse, and they only asked him to get food, so he heads to the canteen and hands his plates to the worker, asking for food. But the man to his roommates who are unhappy with the poor food because they can't eat it, so Hikibi says he was so hungry he already ate his portion on the way, shocking them because they can't believe he could eat something so awful, and when they offer him their food too, he eats it quickly and says it wasn't that bad, which leads one of them to ask why Hikibi has no money, even though he's Sen's partner, and Hikibi explains that Sen asked him to join, but he refused, stunning them as they admit they thought he was with Sen, saying Bin told them so and Bin's information is never wrong. But then they close the door and reveal they only treated Hikibi well because they believed he was Sen's ally, and now that they know he isn't, they move to beat him, yet none of them knows how to actually hurt someone since they've never done it before, and Hikibi raises his hands defensively, causing all three to fall to the ground, making him think he has gained some kind of superpower, but when reason their lives are like this. So Hikibi decides to confront Bin, despite their warnings that angering him will only bring trouble, and he reaches Bin's office to find him calmly playing games. Then the scene shifts to Sayori, trying to make a call but finding no signal, when the same girl approaches her and says there are no towers here, so she should return the phone, also asking her to bring another phone for her, but Sayori ignores her and leaves, telling her to think about her class instead, while Hikibi tells Bin that he shouldn't torment those boys, only for Bin to yell at him and warn that worrying too much will get him into trouble, reminding him his class time is near, which makes Hikibi rush out and reach class on time, only to see students being beaten over trivial things, while Hikibi pushes himself to stay at the top and succeeds, outperforming everyone, but those who fail are beaten mercilessly, and unable to watch this, Hikibi steps in and tells Cien they missed lunch so they have no strength, yet Cien ignores him and beats him too, until Hikibi accidentally punches Cien back, shocking everyone as blood drips from Cien's nose, enraging him as he declares he won't let Hikibi off because he is Sen's dog, but Hikibi denies any connection to Sen and calls the school rotten, pointing out that students aren't even fed properly and cannot train like this, threatening to report everything to the police, which pushes Cien over the edge as he beats Hikibi viciously, declaring that he is the law and the police here, yet even after being beaten Hikibi refuses to surrender, shouting that everything happening is illegal, and at Cien's signal the students begin chanting that instructors and rules must be obeyed and that this treatment is correct, leaving Hikibi confused and heartbroken as even his roommates deny anything is wrong, and just then Sayori arrives, making Hikibi believe she came to help, but instead she beats him brutally and apologizes to Cien on behalf of the student council, bowing deeply, and when Hikibi asks why she did this, she explains no one has ever defeated the instructors and stronger people have already failed, yet Hikibi still stands and declares he will never live in fear even if it kills him, while Sayori desperately tries to stop him, warning that many have already died here, but Hikibi demands Cien hit him again, and when Sayori steps in to stop it, Hikibi pushes her slightly, causing her phone to fall from her pocket and be seen by everyone, and as she tries to grab it, two girls restrain her, while an instructor knocks Hikibi down. Cien picks up the phone as Wudo steps forward mockingly, saying he suspected suspected the student council president was hiding something, and Cian announces a rule that if one student breaks it, everyone must share the punishment, and the students hopelessly agree they deserve it, after which instructors force everyone to the ground and beat them mercilessly. Then Cian calls Sayori's classmates to beat her as well, and though they hesitate they obey, and unable to watch others suffer because of him, Hikibi apologizes and admits he was wrong, pleasing Cian, who orders the beating to stop. Yet students curse Hikibi for causing their pain, and they are sent back to their rooms, while the girl slaps Sayori happily, and Wudo laughs, saying she can no longer be student council president, leaving Sayori and Hikibi alone as Hikibi cries and apologizes, only for Sayori to coldly tell him never to speak to her again. And as he sobs, Sen approaches, and Hikibi begs him to fix everything and agrees to become his dog, but Sen refuses, saying he missed his chance, though he offers another. If Hikibi fulfills 3 conditions: become class leader, remove Wudo from his instructor-like position, and a third condition we don't hear, promising that only then will he take him back and help him rule the school. And later Hikibi returns to his room where no one looks happy, but he announces he is their leader now, causing laughter until he pulls out chocolates and snacks from his bag and promises more if they accept him, instantly winning them over, revealing it was all Sen's plan. And following it, Hikibi confronts Wudo, punches him, declares himself leader, flees as Wudo and his men chase him, fills his jacket with stones and knocks them down one by one while running, shocking Wudo. And watching the time, Hikibi reaches Bin's office, where Bin shuts the gate as they enter, leaving Wudo outside. He asks why he is closing the gate, and Bin calmly explains that the moment it turns 9 o'clock, all gates are shut, because that is the rule here. Whoever is outside stays outside, and whoever is inside stays inside. And hearing this, Wudo finally understands that Hikibi's plan from the very beginning was to somehow drag him inside before 9 o'clock so his followers would be locked out. Then Bin leaves, and Wudo scoffs,
During he can easily kill someone like Hikibi on his own as he steps toward him, but Hikibi starts laughing and tells Wudo that right now Wudo is alone here, while Hikibi is not. And at that moment his classmates come out, which terrifies Wudo, and all of Hikibi's classmates jump on him and start beating him. And watching this, Hikibi smiles, thinking that the man who bullied all the weak students is now lying on the ground, and at the same time he decides that he will take revenge on every person who ever bullied him, an evil smile spreading across his face. Then the scene shifts and we see an instructor approaching Cian and asking whether he found any phone during today's inspection, to which Cian says yes, and the instructor asks for it, saying it's also his duty to handle these things. And the next day, Hikibi brings a pile of phones to Cian, along with a badly beaten Wudo, shocking Cian, who asks what all this means. And Hikibi explains that after yesterday's lesson he went to Wudo to ask about the rules so he too could become a good student, but inside Wudo's room he saw many students using phones, so he told Wudo that as a disciple officer he shouldn't allow this and that all phones should be handed to Cian, but Wudo refused and instead tried to force Hikibi to join them. And when Hikibi firmly refused, Wudo angrily sent his entire class to beat him. Yet with the training Cian had given him, Hikibi and his class defeated all of Wudo's followers and seized the phones, and we see Wudo gagged so he can't speak. And after hearing everything, Cian steps forward and beats Wudo brutally before ordering him to be taken away. Then Cian turns to Hikibi and praises him heavily, after which Cian goes to Headmaster Jin, who is admitting a new student, and once the admission is done, Jin tells Cian that this student was his responsibility, clearly referring to Wudo. And although Cian apologizes, Jin coldly says punishment is unavoidable, pulls out her baton and starts beating Cian, causing him intense pain even though he doesn't scream. And another instructor witnesses this from the gate, while elsewhere Wudo is shown locked in a cell when another instructor, Ryo, comes to him, and Wudo insists it wasn't his fault and that Hikibi framed him, complaining that the phone business benefited everyone, so why isn't anyone saving him now? But Ryo asks where Jun's phone is, and Wudo explains that Sen took it, then it reached Seo Ri, and finally Cian confiscated it, meaning the phone is now with Cian. Yet Ryo demands to know why Wudo even seized Jun's phone, and Wudo says he thought she brought it herself, so as a disciple officer he confiscated it, which enrages Ryo, who beats Wudo and tells him Cian will now decide his punishment, and several instructors rush in and beat Wudo as well, while Ryo walks away thinking about how Cian gave him a different phone when he asked for Jun's, something he realized only after returning the phone to Jun. And realizing this, Ryo decides to take revenge on Cian because he now understands that Cian isn't truly that strong and that the real brain behind everything is Headmaster Jin. Meanwhile, Hikibi is telling Sen how he escaped Wudo's followers and collected the phones, but Sen cuts him off, saying this is only the beginning, then brings Hikibi to his room, calling it his headquarters, and Hikibi is stunned to see everything
everything there, from a computer to a comfortable sofa, and when Hikibi asks who Sen really is, Sen simply says he is his master and ends the topic. Then in celebration of Hikibi's victory, Sen explains some of the school's rules, asking Hikibi to recall yesterday, and Hikibi realizes that no instructor appeared at all, and only Bin was there because Sen sent him, and when Hikibi asks why no instructor came, Sen refuses to explain, saying Hikibi has learned enough for today and should now focus on the next plan, which is to eliminate Class 6, revealing that besides Wudo, many others also have phones, and Hikibi's job is to expose them to gain Sien's trust and dominance among students, and if he keeps going, one day he'll even be able to bring a phone for Sayori and make her smile again. Yet Sen coldly warns that even then she'll treat him like a useless person, and that Hikibi must never forget how humiliated he was until yesterday, so to avoid that he must show everyone how powerful he can become, promising to help him grow stronger. Then Sen tells him that Class 6's leader is Yu, and dealing with him won't be easy, after which Hikibi returns to his roommates because according to the plan he must fight Yu with them, but they refuse, terrified of fighting, and saying they only defeated Wudo because he was isolated from his followers, and they couldn't beat Yu even together, no matter how much Hikibi tries to convince them, so he leaves angrily, declaring he will no longer be the leader of the week. While in Sen's room, Ryo arrives, and Sen asks what kind of work brought instructor Ryo to him personally, as elsewhere Sayori is fighting a girl and nearly defeats her until a smaller girl introduces herself as Akan and says the younger one is Hoku, explaining they want to form a 3-girl class, but Sayori rejects them and walks away, saying she has no time for useless games. Then the scene shifts and we see Ryo choking Sen, demanding to know where Jun's phone is, and Sen warns that killing him will cause Ryo serious trouble, but Ryo replies that Sen is going to die anyway, he's just speeding it up, until a boy attacks Ryo from behind and throws him into a wall, shocking Ryo as he asks who attacked him, and Sen explains that he's his bodyguard with headmaster's permission, adding that he wants no trouble and just wants to live peacefully, and that he doesn't have Jun's phone. Then we see Hikibi standing in an empty area when many people surround him, wanting his position and having their own plans, but Hikibi isn't afraid and tells them to leave because harming him will only bring danger later. Then he shows them the time and asks them to remember it, and suddenly starts beating himself brutally, making them laugh and think he's gone insane, while Sayori is seen leaving after rejecting the 2 girls, until Akoned opens her jacket and reveals multiple phones, telling Sayori she can talk to her little brother and use as much internet as she wants, while Hikibi, now badly bruised, pours sauce over himself and collapses, shouting that he will never use phones like this and can't betray his head instructor, causing the group's leader to flee, only for Sien to appear and smash his head into a wall before instructors drag him away, and after Sien leaves, the remaining boys blame Hikibi for setting them up, but Hikibi says his fight was only with their leader, not them, and if they side with him, he'll give them what they want, including good food at night, which convinces them. Then he asks where Class 6 does business, and they warn him it's behind the dorms and in the Class 2 building, advising him not to provoke Class 6 because their leader is extremely strong and angering him would be fatal. But then Sayori arrives with her companions, silencing Hikibi, as Akane suddenly runs to cling to him because she liked him at first sight, forcing Hikibi to push her away until Hoku stops her and demands everyone hand over their phones, making them laugh, until Hoku kicks one of them down, shocking everyone as she defeats all the boys alone. Then Sen arrives, warning them not to harass his dog, leading to a clash between Sen and Hoku, forcing Sen and Hikibi to flee as the 3 girls chase them into the dorms, following them inside until a powerful blast of water from a pipe hits them in the bathroom, where they see Sen surrounded by many boys, and when Hoku attacks, Yu easily defeats her and grabs her throat with the pipe, and when Sayori tries to help, she's knocked down with a single kick, and as Yu prepares another kick, Hikibi steps in and takes it himself, making Sen remark that once again Hikibi stepped in. Then Sen declares this is a test to regain his trust, ordering Hikibi to strip the 2 girls and take photos to make them go viral, enraging Hikibi so much that he throws the phone away and refuses, prompting Yu to punch him hard, after which Sen reveals he knows Hikibi did nothing with Sayori that day, shocking both of them, and Sen hands the phone back, warning this is Hikibi's last chance, and if he refuses, Sen will become his enemy, terrifying Hikibi as he slowly reaches for the phone, while elsewhere a boy named Moku is carrying food when the canteen worker announces he's the one who tried to escape and was caught, causing everyone to laugh as Moku leaves, only to be dragged aside, beaten, forced to become a servant, have his food stomped on, and be made to eat dirty food from the ground, after which Moku brings new food to the empty ground, only for Sion to arrive and tell him to eat in the canteen, but when Moku
Moku begs for help and explains the bullying. Sion beats him instead, saying he hates escapees the most, admitting he thought Moku followed rules well until he tried to flee. And as Sion leaves, Moku says he never wanted to escape, but if this continues, he'll die one day, triggering Sion's memories of his past as a police officer sent on a dangerous mission. And then the scene returns to Hikibi holding the phone, agreeing to take only one photo, but first demanding Sen promise to never interfere with Shiori or any girl again, only for Sen to say Hikibi isn't in a position to make demands. As Yu punches Hoku to the ground, Hikibi moves to Shiori and starts opening her jacket, warning that as long as Bin holds her he won't be able to undress her, forcing Sen to tell Bin to let her go, and Hikibi signals Shiori as he continues removing her jacket. So friends, if you enjoy this epic anime and want next episodes, so don't forget to like and subscribe the channel for new videos.